I wanna go over a couple different ways to pass half guard, right? Why is this something that we need to be working on? Well, regardless of whether you're training MMA, jiu-jitsu, and hell, even self-defense, you might find yourself in a situation where this guy kind of just locks down on one of your legs. Now, this can become a big issue, especially in like a self-defense situation. If he's trying to come up into me, he's trying to hit me, and I'm trying to just pass and try and clear this distance and try and get away, it's not a good place for me to be. Even in jiu-jitsu, obviously, I'm not able to get this leg clear, or if I'm able to get to like my knee stapled, this isn't technically mount because I still have my foot trapped. So if we're talking from like a scoreboard perspective, I'm not able to score until I can clear that foot. From an MMA perspective, yes, I can utilize this and start throwing strikes, but still it hinders my ability to progress further and take the back, take side control, whatever I want to do. So either way, I have a couple options, a couple simple ones. I'll show you an advanced one just for kicks and giggles. But if we're talking just simple, the key that I want people to focus on is creating a lot of pressure up top. What I tend to do if they're gonna bite my leg down, I don't care if they're biting up by the thigh or all the way down an ankle, I wanna look to get a good solid crossface. I wanna look to get a good underhook. This is gonna be your key detail here. If I can't get this underhook from this position, this guy's gonna be able to start working his own underhook. He's gonna start being able to wrestle up from here. If he's got a good leverage on this leg, he's gonna pull that leg back and start almost working like a single leg, and I just completely lost the position, right? So the first things first is once I get this crossface, I do have to fight, get this underhook, lock my hands together, start applying a lot of this pressure, drive that shoulder in. From here, I'm gonna do what we call TP, right? I'm gonna put my head down a little bit, and I wanna walk my feet up so I'm in a TP position. Now, because I've got my pressure here, it allows me to use my feet a little bit more freely, makes it feel a little bit lighter, right? I'm floating. I'm gonna take my outside leg for this first one, and I'm gonna look to bring my shin all the way across his gut. Now, my foot is gonna be hooked right as tight as I can behind his hip. So if I post up here, I want my foot as tight as I can to his hip so that, again, he can't turn into me, right? From this position, I'm immediately going to sit down to that butt cheek. And again, I have to kind of embrace for him to drive into me, but that's also the reason why we have our foot tight to the hip so that if he does try to drive up into me, I'm able to maintain this pressure. If, however, you sit really far back, you're gonna lose that position altogether. So keep everything nice and tight. From here, keep your cross face. My underhook arm is going to come free, and I'm going to grab the knee. If we're in gi, if we're in the street and they got pants here, I'm grabbing the material and I'm gonna start stiff arming this, right? Otherwise, I'm grabbing the knee. Most of the time, these guys are gonna be biting down, trying to not get this leg free. I'm gonna start putting pressure. Now, I'm not looking to necessarily break this open. I just wanna create pressure so that I can start pulling my foot out. Now, if I start getting stuck, ballerina toe, get that foot nice and straight, I'm gonna pull that foot all the way through, and immediately I'm gonna put it as a kickstand. Why? Because the moment I clear this, more times than not, guys are gonna look to come up, right? So I need to be able to support myself so that when he does drive up, I'm still in control. Now, to recompose position, I'm gonna drive this knee across so that he can't recompose with this knee, and now I'm simply just going to turn into him, bring my knees together, and we establish side control. Again, MMA, self-defense, jiu-jitsu, side control is a great position to work towards. Now I've cleared the position, I've progressed, I can do damage, I can get to mount, I can draw weapons, I can prevent stuff. Whatever your goal is, this is a good position for you to be in. So one more time. Again, I get my crossface, I get my underhook, I post my head down, I'm gonna TP myself up a little bit, drive the shin and knee across his gut. As I start sitting, I'm pulling the underhook arm out. Immediately I go to the knee, start driving the knee, kickstand this foot right away, switch my hips as I drive this knee away. I'm gonna work myself back in, and then again, we just progress and keep going from there. Now the next one, again, same setup, getting my crossface, getting my unhook, pressuring in. However, this time I wanna put my head down a little bit more. Now at this point, I'm going to TP myself up. My outside leg, I'm looking to bring up and hook to the inner part of his thigh. Now I am not going to be able to just prop this open. What I want to do is start creating that pressure so that as he starts pulling that leg back, it actually allows me to move my outside leg, and I can bring that knee up as well, and I'm gonna staple both knees down to the ground. Now notice I have not pulled my feet out yet. I've got both knees down, I'm able to kind of base out a little bit, and now what I'm looking to do is take my feet and start prying his legs open. Again, you're not gonna be able to open them, he's gonna be resisting. When I feel that resistance, smack the mat, bring my legs in, and I wanna shift my weight back a little bit. Why? Because if I do this and I'm still leaning forward, he might react, throw me over, and again, I'm gonna lose that position. So one more time, I'm gonna get here, I pressure in, I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna hook the inside, whatever I can, start driving that down, bring my other knee up, staple both knees down to the ground. If for whatever reason he's just completely lazy and he leaves the legs open, then I'm just gonna take that position. If he's giving me that resistance, that's fine, I'm gonna play with it for a minute, then I'm gonna take the position from here, still all the way back, and then right away, again, we start isolating and we take whatever we need to do from there. Now the fancy one is a back take that you can do from here. I don't recommend this for the street, but for sport, if you wanna be fancy, it does work. Or if I'm in this position and this guy's just not giving me anything from here, then what I'm gonna look to do is the leg that he's got hooked, I'm gonna take my opposite leg, I'm going to extend it, and I'm looking to figure four my legs together. All right, this is what I want to do so that when I start rolling through, I can curl my feet and I'm going to be able to keep his legs attached to mine. Now at this point, I need to transition to the same side over here. So I'm going to start kind of working my way over there, start working different underhooks. A lot of times these guys are going to give it to you because they think, oh, he's training up that arm. Now, once I get to this side, I'm looking to take the same side arm and I'm rolling through on that shoulder. As I roll through on that shoulder, I'm also going to start curling my feet. If I do this as two separate motions, it's never going to work. I have to literally clear this arm and immediately look to roll and start curling my feet at the same time. If you're doing that properly, I'm essentially rolling in place and I'm going to flip him over the top and I should be able to take his back from there. So again, I clear the arm, I roll through. Now from here, again, notice I'm biting down on this foot, getting his hips to come down. I'm immediately going to grab his far hip and I'm gonna start working myself up. What makes this nice is that you already have the bottom hook. If I'm able to do this quick enough and I react fast enough, I can use this hip, scoot back, pull him right in, and we can take the back from there. If, however, he immediately starts going to turtle, well, then I'm gonna follow all the way up, look to secure my second hook, and then from there we go. So one more time again, I've got the cross face, I've got the underhook, I'm putting the pressure, he's not really giving me anything, so I'm going to extend, look to lock a figure 4, start working towards the other side. Once I clear that arm, again, I roll, and right away, I'm gonna look to come up. So again, understand that a lot of people tend to, let me borrow you again, a lot of people tend to kind of just panic in positions and think that, oh, I'm just gonna lock this leg down and think that this is like a safe position. It's not really, unless you kind of have a good knee shield into play or if we're playing deep half. But if I'm just holding onto this leg, I don't have any knee shield into play, and he's able to pass all that, I'm in a really bad spot. Even if I'm just biting down as hard as I can, he's gonna be able to work out of there. So this is a common position to find yourself in. A lot of people get stuck in this position when they're in Cassius spot thinking that, well, I've got nowhere else to go. You do. You essentially, if you do the movements correctly, I can take mount, I can take side control, I can take the back, pretty much whatever position you want off of that, you can do it properly or you can get to if you do it properly. So either way, go train, stay safe. We'll see you next time.